To the side is something special that I've created, something that I got going on. I'm gonna let you check that out in a bit, but first I like to start off by putting positive vibes on the timeline for my daily inspiration book, and I just lost my page. It's in his presence. Today is August 5th, 2025, the eighth month of the year. We have a few more months left to go. And this month, um, it's already the 6th. Well, in case if you're new to my channel, everything like that, and I'm just looking down at the book. This month's inspiration started off with whoever believes in me, as the scripture has to flow from within him or her. John chapter 7, verse 38. And that's how we start the month off with belief, faith. Two things totally different, two totally different strategies to go about these things, and they're two totally different experiences. You can have faith in something but don't believe, and therefore your faith is invalid. Faith without works is dead as well. You believe a lot of things, but you don't work out. And those two things go hand in hand. So just let you ponder that thought for a bit as we get into today's reading, which is August the 5th. Sit quietly in my presence while I bless you. Make your mind like a still pool of water, ready to receive whatever thoughts I drip into it. Rest in my sufficiency as you consider the challenges this day presents. Do not wear yourself out by worrying about what you're communicating with me as we walk day together. Take time to rest by the wayside, for I am not in a hurry. A leisurely pace accomplishes more than hurried striving. When you rush, you forget who you are, whose you are. Remember that you are royalty in my kingdom. Psalms chapter 37, verse 7. Romans chapter 8, verse 16 through 17. And First Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Really why I want to do this. I got stuff that I'm waiting on. And I feel like it's holding up my progress. Just what it is. Can't control everything in life, you know. Some things just beyond your control. You do what you can, you let the rest be what it be. It's kind of wild. So one issue is what I deal with on the day. Do my job, you know, my little 2 hours, put my work in. And I'm not forcing myself to do this, you know. But it is a company that must be ran and it's not on autopilot at the moment. I have things going on, you know, my videos, they work 24 hours a day, but it can get lost in the sauce. So I create new videos each day to refresh the algorithm and also to refresh the viewers, people who want to see more of what I got going on, and also for those who are interested but didn't catch the information they needed on one of my videos. So basically, it's just through my videos. You go through any of my social medias, and you'll see exactly what I'm about. You should know exactly what I do, and you know what Team Angie has to offer. So that's why I continuously make videos day by day, because if you don't know, you will be eventually getting to know what Team Angie is all about and what we have to offer. This here to the side is something I created in the digital space, NFTs, digital art, and everything like that.
Personal Journey Overcoming Anxiety. Anxiety weighing heavy? Lighten the load with our support. This course set me on the path to success. Don't wait. Begin your journey today. Comment.
That's just like a different streamer I use or whatever. Pretty dope. This one it's similar the same. I like this one as well. Of course, everything costs, so I haven't been on to utilize this stream, this platform. You know, it has a lot of cool features as well. When I'm studio restream, I like different that my mentor and them they use Ophius Clip. That's pretty dope too. But it's like you basically plug in your videos and they make shorts and reels out of it because it's an all-in-one platform. And what I'm using now, Stream, then I automatically do the repurposing this stream, breaking it down into different little videos to repurpose and reuse. So it's an all-in-one tool. That's why I like this better. You know, I have to download so many different apps, and I don't have to be going back and forth. It just saves a little time when you're trying to create. And this is a part of the autopilot system, just like with copy. It's a few other ones like they have some going on with attention this morning and late last night, and they was talking about grants going on. Also, matter of fact, hello Alice. I believe no matter of fact grants all the time as well, and they have an hour happening tomorrow. So they talking about tomorrow. Actually, they have one today, tomorrow, and on the 7th. So today, tomorrow, and the day after. Today is about uh, I don't remember, and then the day after is about um, I forgot, but I know the one tomorrow. If y'all want to attend these free webinars, better yet, all you got to do is just sign up for my email list, angielc.com, and then see you all comments. Actually, this another little example on my I want to go check it out. Scan the QR code at the bottom. All right, here go the chat. So I'm putting it in the chat right now. I mean, I'm trying to attend this webinar, but she just got to talking to me. Not webinar, but a Zoom meeting. It's like a motherfucker, a fan of a nigga and shit. We don't talk at all, but the shit the motherfucker talking about is everything I've been talking about. Like, where you been? A secret supporter. And the only way I find out is because you talking about the same shit. I feel like I got a fucking doppelganger out there looking different. And everything, the same shit don't work for everybody. Like what I do, the way I do it, it might not happen the same way for you. But what I do is possible for anybody to do. But the way I do it, you have to do it the way that you do it. Like what I post about, what I talk about, what I care about is this is what I put out into the universe. Money, but giving some value to somebody who may need it the same way that I received it. And what I learned, I like to share. And of course, I do things for profit. I'm not no nonprofit organization. The game is to be sold, not told. Email list to get all of the exclusive that's going on. And everything is learnable, figure outable. Like right now, it's going to take a little time. I'm in the process of trying to get this NFC done, patient updated because um, I really don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just learning. The process is what it is. It's interesting, nevertheless. Aware of certain things and certain things I'm still not aware of. What I do is I use my chat GBT, not chat GBT. I use all of the gems. All the gems that I like the most to come with my software. And if you don't have that, you can easily use it and have access to it if you have Microsoft Explorer. The Also, if you have Windows, if you use Windows for your internet browser, you can use the Copilot. It goes with Windows. It's a pretty cool AI thing that I use. All right, depending on what products you have. What I have is e-courses, as well as digital art, and so I have affiliate marketing programs, which is a good thing. You can go right on these things from your phone, the TV if it has Wi-Fi, and/or your tablet. The only thing you need is 2 hours a day Wi-Fi and a cell phone, or one of those three devices to upload this information PDF form. Being coachable is one thing that will really help you succeed in digital marketing because it's always evolving. The trending topics, the way that people use products, that always change. You got car washes, you got people who got their own car services, detail and stuff like that. So you don't really have to go to a car wash, but it's a service provided and available, and it always upgrades. Just like a lot of people doing trucking and stuff. Well, let me give you guys a revelation here now. That's how these companies, the big tech, began to evolve their situation and autopilot it. Wayfair, if you haven't known yet, it's on the West Coast and a little bit on the East Coast, and there's basically self-driving cars to take out the people who drive. As far as food, like Uber Eats and stuff like that, and these big truckers who drive from state to state, they're putting robots in there to automate this system, and it's been in the process for the past 10 years. The good thing about that is AI and get you a machine, not a machine, but a vehicle to be a part of them context that's progresses in the future. Now, the bad thing about it is not evolving with this tech. The tech is not even that hard to figure out. I'm not that tech savvy as well, but giving myself a little time to dabble into these tools and programs, it becomes more familiar. It all starts off foreign, but the more you stick around, the familiar it gets. It's secondary language, a second, um, like personality. You hear a lot of people bilingual. There's like two personalities. You see it. But nevertheless, you have two tools in your toolbox of money making activity. So this one thing, once you get in your position, right, you can become a mentor. You could be a creator or whatever, an influencer. And the thing is once you get caught up in that, you don't remember your reason for checking out other people's stuff and be fan of other people. That's nice and all, but imitation is a flattery. Basically, you don't want to become somebody else. Checking out what they're doing so much that where you forget who you are, you lose yourself in the process. Like a lot of these rappers and stuff like that, they say NFL, NLE Chopper looking like Blueface, and stuff like that. It's like, wow, these two people are similar alike, and also other people, different examples, but nevertheless, you start to see it, and if you're not hearing much from NLE Chopper, right? And it's just like that. Like if you don't have your own version of you out there and who you want to be, you can always recreate yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. People do it every day, all day. It's a part of life. We always develop individuals. You're not going to be the same mindset, the same image, any and everything. Things change. It just is what it is, right? Change is a part of life. Change is a part of growth as well. But to be the ultimate challenge, not to become someone else until that person's not around, and then you don't know what else. You get lost in the sauce. Bad thing about digital marketing, you want to be inspired by people and not influenced, but motivated by what they do and what you see. But you don't want to get so caught up and wrapped up in that to where you're now becoming that person and you don't know how to be that person because they're unavailable or they're changing up as well. Developing who they are as a person, character, whatever it may be. And it's not always about that part. It's about the down. As far as my success, I had to switch my stuff up, right? I'm learning a lot. I got to take a lot of time to learn. You got to deal with distractions. You got to deal with the lack of resources. You got to deal with life, and that's just what it is. You're not gonna have everything in position. Like with these NFTs, I'm having a lot of lagging issues with the internet or whatever, right? And it's a little frustrating because it took one whole month just to get a little bit of information that didn't get approved like that as well. Especially like with Trump and his Trump coin and stuff like. I now understand the process and what's really going on, going through the similar process as well, and the steps that it takes. So one person that motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing is the Pepsi coins because they started their journey in 2023, a few years ago, and 2023 was my first year in business. I could tell you my journey. I'm going on my third year, September 22nd. And what got me to this point, to be 1 year that I started digital marketing. And it'll be 1 year that, I had set out goals when I first started. And I'll be able to see like how far I am, how close I am, and start taking accountability to what I need to do next. It's going to be dope. If y'all want to check it out, August 25th will be my 1 year anniversary of digital marketing. I'll be revealing the letter that I wrote to myself a year ago, and we can see what's what, and we can go over that. But let me give y'all a backstory and a little history on my first year, second year into this moment now. 22nd was when I started Team Official, and it was out there. Registered through Michigan. I used LegalZoom as my parent company, and yeah, that was that. But it was, and I'll be honest too, like I was on a run. I was trying to do a lot of stuff. I was juggling a lot. But one thing I knew for sure was that my spirit been telling me I want to start a company. Research, not a lot, about how to start a company, the benefits of it, what route to take, a LLC, a corporation, S corp, and things like that. So I looked at a lot of videos. I keep hearing, "Oh, you start a business, get a business account, and you gone, you own." You know what I'm saying? Long story short, it didn't happen like that. And this is one free tip I'll give you guys if you're looking to start a company. Make sure that you got your personal credit right because credit is key. Of course, you will have a different entity with no credit and you can start even going and start it is to have your personal credit doors for these business accounts and loans and grants and stuff like that, right? I tried it. I'm still working on it. My credit ain't bad. It's fair, but it ain't good. I'm in the mid 600s, six something. You know what I'm saying? I was up to about seven, but my source of income kind of slowed down. So that's what happened with that. But nevertheless, I was working in the construction cleanup back in 2022, September, and that job was about to end. And after September, you have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays to end the year with the bang. My birthday in October, my son's birthday in October. Here's the first week from 5th March to 28th. He a Libra, I'm a Scorpio. And I got like a little money saved. When I work, I save a little money because that's what makes sense, right? I don't want to have something to show for it. And I want to be able to invest in another source of income. May that be the case. And that was the case. I had used my last check money for any products or services like that. The industry that I went into was the industry I went into as consultant. I mean, public relations industry as a private person, a consultant. Because I didn't have any money to go into an industry that I really wanted to. And yes, these things cost. You know, you start an LLC for free. They say that, yeah, whatever, right? You need your state money for the registration. That's what you do need. You can fill out the papers yourself, yes. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to cost. And just pay for somebody who know what they serve. It's like LegalZoom, you know. And the Better Business, they're A rated by Angie List, and it's like, you know, they got credentials. I'm not sure about a lot of other things that will help you to start your LLC or whatever, but that's who I went through. You know, it's other things out there. This was back in 2022. A lot of people got new products and services out or whatever, right? You just do a little research. But this is how I went. This was my route. So with them, it was like, okay, what industry? Every industry costs different amounts to register with. Like Illinois was what I really wanted to register with a bit too much. And I'm not in Illinois, but I could always switch it over. So I went with Michigan, right? It was cheap. Everything was affordable to what I had in my pocket and what I had to spare. And it costed everything that I had. You know, that's how I ended up being in this situation because I wanted to get it started, and nevertheless, I wanted to use what I had. I didn't have any more money coming in, and I was back on that mission to finding a job. I got three, get hired because of my background. My last felony just wrapped up in 2023. So, well, that case was just finally closed, but that case had been open since 2018. I had been running and in and out of different things, and that finally came to an end in 2023 of October. So, that first year, right, I started off with accessories. TeamAndy.net. This is my third website. I use, which is a free app you can use to create a site. I still got that web functionable. I just don't promote it as much. And that's where all my consultant services is on that website. A lot of people was like, when I first started it, like, they was a lot of looky loos. They, oh, what's your niche and this and that. You know, a lot of people had opinions and shit. But a lot of people want to really, like, I did have customers with the consultant. I had two actually. And then I had more actually, but one to be my, they asked for advice, they asked for my services, but they don't want to pay. So I easily and simple crossed over from there. You know, it's all about the accessories with a little bit of mental health because that's what basically my consultancy service is about. At that time, and still, I advocate for mental health awareness. I have tips and tools to manage stress and anxiety. That's why I created a blog specifically for that. Talks with Team Angie Tuesdays and Thursdays. You check it out. Join my email list. You'll be seeing everything, but it's all in my situation and my stories, my portfolio, which you'll be able to take a peek at through the website and newsletters that I send out. Send them out weekly, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you want to join the webinar tomorrow, check out the community. Just sign up for teamagllc.com. Send out the free blueprint on the products I have available. Earn while you learn. Live mentorship, and as well as the newsletter on everything that's going on throughout the month and week to week series through paparazzi. If you guys want to check, pretty dope. $5 accessories, stainless steel, different little nice little accessories for women and for men. So I did that for 1 year, just about. Still running, still, trying to shuffle everything, be low key, but act like I'm not. So like at that time, you would have never knew what I had going on because the way that I did it, I wasn't online as much as I am now, but I was just trying to a sense of normalcy, without being too hot and drawing too much attention, which was kind of difficult, which seems crazy. You would think like, oh, it's for somebody to be on the run, you show in the public a lot and you doing a lot. But that's what it's about. You got to take chances and take risks. If I was to be playing it safe, I'd still be wishing and wanting some shit, which I do want things, but it's not necessary. I have what I need. But I learned valuable lessons during that time. I lost my contract because I had so much going on that I was trying to juggle. Next year, 2023, I had moved. I've been moving a lot too at this time. I've been all through the Midwest. I was in Kenosha, Wisconsin, throughout all through Wisconsin, whatever. Um, Michigan, Illinois, and then I had went to Ohio. And trying to maintain my situation. It's not just running around, but wherever the money with the money. If it's not here, you got to go travel. It's like a lot of these celebrities. I always see them different states, different countries because shit, you got to go get that money. That's just what it is. Of course, in cities, meeting different people, doing different things, just following my dream. And through it all, God provide safe, keep me in my mind by drugs or stuff like that. Because you in a risky environment, you in a risky situation, especially taking chances. And it's nothing but the grace of God to guide me through. So that the second year, products, no services, or anything, and I'm just working. I'm working. I just got my felony, my everything took care of. So now I feel like a free man. Uh, what's this? Basically, the beginning of 2023. I mean, the 24 last year. Because 23, I lost my contract and I was moving around and like maintaining shit, trying to keep my company afloat. I was passing out my accessories and everything like that. Made business cards, all type of shit. Usually been wearing a shirt with my thing on there. But anyway, right, and let me tell you something too. During all this stuff, uh, during all of this, right, I had been struggling with the IRS, child support, unemployment, and Medicaid. So this is what's crazy about all these three things, right? Just last year from the beginning, Medicaid, right? I gotta keep up with that. It's some God cursed me with, but nevertheless, there's tools to use to manage it. So I'm not tripping about that shit at all. I don't trip. Whatever. I deal with that. I'm sexually active. I go get checked, so I deal with that. Thank God I never had anything, but I like to know my status, right? So uh, I get insurance or whatever. This back in 20. I'm usually healthy. I don't have to go to the doctor as much, but nevertheless, I get my blood pressure pills and get checked up, all this and that, everything good. But long story short, they end up taking some of my information and using it to file taxes and shit. And they've been doing this for the past 3 years. I just found out 2 weeks ago. Got a little greedy and a little sloppy. They asking me for money for some medical bills, and I'm like, medical bills? I ain't been to the doctor in a minute. And also, when I just try those spirit talks, and the spirit never leads me in the wrong direction. And the spirit told me like, don't worry about that shit. Let it go. Focus on other shit, and that's what I did. And long story short, they get greedy. They send me like a lot of people doing. When you getting these medical bills, just because you have insurance, don't pay that shit, especially if you haven't used that service. Because for one thing, you're admitting to a debt, and for two, whether that's if it's not your debt, of course, pay your dues. But if it's not yours, then now you're legally bound and obligated to pay certain things, and you don't never know what's in that fine contract that they're saying. Like, okay, we want 20 now, maybe 20,000, and we want 1,500 one after that, and you'll be sitting there paying up anything, and that's how they get over on people. Like just be mindful of these bills you automatically letting your insurance pay for because you're going to need that money at some point in time for one of your emergencies. But anyway, right? They send me a letter in the mail for $30, which ain't a lot. Thing about it is like I haven't used no services, so whether I got insurance or not, I'm not finna be like y'all go ahead and pay for that for me because this is what they want. I called they ass like y'all doing too much in y'all services, so I called the call, and what was crazy about that is the number to tell on they. God cleans up stuff for me, especially when you focus on trying to do right and you're trying to do shit that's making sense and not only help for yourself but helping others. You don't have time to focus on all this extra bullshit. So I let it go. I give it to God. Not even that I'm aware that it's even happening. I'm not even aware until that letter came, and now it's the back end of God cleaning up this mess. But nevertheless, right? They like, oh, yeah, his people's doing whatever, and it might not even be him. He might not even be aware, but this is his camp who got the shit going on. So he's gonna have to clean up house, or he's gonna have to be shut down. But nevertheless, they was like, we got lawyers or whatever. We got everything in place. Do you want to file a report and press charges? Most did, and definitely we got on the phone. We got that report filled out, and the investigation started. And they was asking me too, like, do you file taxes? I'm like, yeah, I do. So they was like, have you been getting such and such form? And the form they talking about is the form that I've been needing. Like we get now. Now we at the IRS, right? The form I've been needing, the IRS been on my ass for like the past 2 years about this shit. And I'm steady like, I don't know what y'all looking for because if I was a tax person, I know, right? But I hire people to do this shit for me. And they asking me about this shit too, but I really don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. And I could have scammed to get this paper and stuff, but the spirit told me like, don't even worry about it, because they wanted 6,000 at the time, and they said money we need that, and I'm like, well, I just need the shit because I need shit too. At the end of the day, it was like, don't even worry about it. This ain't your death to be worried about, so I didn't worry about it. And long story short, come to find out, the form that they've been looking for, everybody been looking for, the fucking medical insurance been having, and they've been using it to file for these past 3 years. And I was like, wow, me and my cousin got into it about some income tax money. And sadly, he passed away, and we wasn't really cool like that. But had I known that this was something that was holding it up, you could have got shit established. Uh, of course, you don't want to be about money. Like, it's some fucking paper. But when you in die-hard situations, you trying to better yourself, like I was saying, you focus on doing what you got to do, right? It's irritating. It's very frustrating. Just like the McDonald's girl, she trying to take care of herself. She dealing with shit at home that she trying to take care of and not be dealing with. But then when you go to work and they playing these little games, they sending you home fucking with your paper is what they really doing. And it's like, damn, what like should I keep going or should I go ahead? Everybody else do, just cause chaos and get it how you can because the devil do presents opportunities as well. That's why a lot of people flip off the handle. But I really follow Christ and do what's right, despite the opportunities I have to do wrong. Because I'm honest and genuine, I've done it. Used to say a lot, make them happy until I realized that was done. And it's not nothing that I really uh, resonate with. When you out here doing dumb shit, you get dumb results, and you wonder why. And it just clicked on me. You be stuck in the DNA. You look for that shit until you change your DNA. You change the way you think and the way you move, and your whole thing. I'm y'all too pretty dope on the science behind this, what I'm talking about. But we're gonna get into that in just a bit after I finish wrapping the story up, studying in this digital marketing field. So 2 year thing that's been going on, actually 3 year thing that's been going on, kind of my attention 2 weeks ago. And last year I got hit. Okay, back to the unemployment up when the COVID shit was happening, and like selling all my shit. She got my money and spent it. The stimulus checks or whatever, right? She paid me back or whatever. But the whole point about it is like I had weeks that I didn't feel out and whatever. They shut me off and then they cut me back on. They basically didn't give my money. They tried to give me the runaround. And then they tried to act, you know what I'm saying? This was years ago. They tried to act like I owe them back in 2022. And they with the IRS when I was trying to get my money. They owe me 30 bands. I'm trying to go get my money. They sending me to fucking Grand Rapids and all around, running around and shit, right? What from it at that time. And the same thing with the unemployment. They had me running around all this and that shit, trying to make me pay whatever. The same Medicaid people. And we're gonna get to child support in a minute too. So long story short, I let God fight my battles because I know what I do right and I know what I do wrong, and I'm not worried about the shit. So last year they gave me my money just out the blue, right? 16 bands. That's how I end up getting the products that I have now with the digital marketing. I start cleaning up my credit and I start doing a lot of shit to put myself in position to where I want to be. You know, a lot of money. This shit ain't gonna last. It ain't. And of course, like just having fun with that shit because it's gonna come back. And that's the way that you receive. You can't receive anything with your hands closed. How can you? If this shit ain't in there, you can grab a little bit, but it's gonna fall out. You know, whatever you got with after that, then it's cool. But when your hands are open, you're able to grab a lot. So that's why I was getting all this stuff. And so while I'm getting blessings, I'm getting curses at the not curses, but I'm getting distractions and the fucking, the left hand magic shit coming to try to drain my resource. I mean, the child support, they take $2,000 out of my account. I'm like, damn, and that was like the last of my little shit that I had. I had money spread out across different accounts. But one thing I learned from that was the pro the pros of having a company. You can put shit in your company name and then they can't take it from you like that. So I learned that when it was a little too late, and I was working on that too. Like, you ask for help, people will act like they'll help you and they abandon you. What I was getting help with at the time, which I got abandoned with my credit, and I spent 15 motherfucker here, but not. Let me give you this book, read through the shit, figure it out. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Like how it was because I got kicked out of school. I was in painting. I learned how to paint from by my fucking self off a book. The teacher, we didn't have no teacher. And this is the Joliet, Illinois. They ghetto as fuck. The class was bad. We just didn't have a teacher for like 6 months. And I didn't get into the class for like 2 months. So for like 8 months, they was like, we ain't have no teacher. We go to books, we read the book, practice what we can learn out the books, and that was that. And different little shit. So I learned from that. And I did learn that, the power of community because if I was to sit there by myself reading on books, I probably wouldn't have cared to even try to do that shit. But the people that was in that class with me, we all together learned and we did our thing. With this was different, like a private mentor. Every mentor ain't gonna be the right one for you either though. Like a lot of people have a lot of people to govern. And that becomes a problem for people who's not really in leadership position because people are really passionate about what they do. You can see it. You just feel it. It's not nothing that you can fake. It's not nothing that you can imitate. It's genuine. And so these battles they've been attacking my finances, like left and right, distracting me from doing what I got to do and trying to learn this digital marketing, which I started back in August. Second year, half of my second year. Now this will be my second year doing digital marketing, and September will be my third year running the company. Not sure what's going to happen the fourth year, but what I'm doing right now and stuff like this to put myself in position so I don't have to do things that I've been doing and I won't have to worry about losing contracts and other shit like that because I'm living life well and I got shit going on. It's a lot of shit to juggle, and it just is what it is. Especially if you're a solo breed. I didn't try to go into this by myself, but it is what it is. I wish I had the consult different stuff like that, but I just take my time, and that's what I gained 2.5 years was to take your time. It's no rush. It's nice to see people start this with me, succeed and blow up like a skyrocket, and do that thing. And I support them, and I because I like to see how it feels. Whether it's my success or somebody else's, it's nice. It's possible that this is being done. Even with my mentor, like I know she be watching too much about some shit I ain't care about. Like I'm trying to learn some shit. I don't care about your personal life or whatever. But I'm not wrong, and she's not wrong. She was excited, and I didn't want to share that excitement with her. That's a hater. I ain't had the patience because I'm working on some other stuff, and I'm gonna be honest. Like I was just saying, like I don't want to hear that shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Especially what the fuck you talking about when I got into it. I'm like, whatever. It just brought to my mind, like, yeah, you be watching my shit a lot, and a lot of stuff ain't on her. Like I found out, I was listening to a little bit, but I didn't know race. Nobody helped. Yeah, it's like, how do I raise my hand in the fucking chat thing? But I figured up on it, and I figured it out on accident. But I thank God that I figured it out. Everything is figure outable. So that was a key, crucial moment in my life yesterday. It happened by mistake, but nothing is really a mistake in life. Everything is purpose and for a reason. And that moment was my purpose and reason to know, like, my patience is a virtue, and it's something that I'm not blessed with, but I'm being tested and tried. I'm the universe letting me know, like, do you want patience or don't you? Just like, do you want happiness or don't you? It's a pursuit of it. It's not nothing you're going to get and just hold on to, but you can obtain it. It's obtainable. And every moment throughout the day, you can obtain happiness. You can obtain patience. If you practice it, and that's what I've been doing. I've been practicing it. The best thing I could tell you about digital marketing is to, before you get started, do this. Write down why you want to embark on this money online. Write down what would you want to post on every day, even if you don't get no likes, you don't got no followers, you don't get no comments. What's something that you wouldn't mind posting? Right. That's how you find your niche. What do you like? Education. I like a lot of things, but most so I like making money online and I like creating. So that's what I don't mind making videos about. I don't mind posting about that, whether y'all like my stuff or not. It's what I'm passionate about. And eventually, my people who appreciate what I do, they'll be able to come check it out. That's why I make these videos every day. But I'm going over some notes right now, and it's important to write down notes. Mental health awareness as well, journaling. Yeah, this is my little doodling. You know what I'm saying? Some origami, some Zentangle. And yes, I do know my art. This is what I want to leave with y'all, and then I'm gonna show y'all this video. Young Pharaoh, he real dope, really educated, and he confident about his knowledge. So I like to listen for about why people hate us, why people love us. It's in their DNA. They can't help it. The more you we gonna get into that. But damn, I'm trying to find this these notes. 'Cause to be honest, but oh damn, my bad. So don't be vague, right? This is about what does time freedom look like? What does financial freedom look like? My time freedom look like? And I ain't gonna let y'all, read it or whatever, because I'm gonna read it. But I could read it. So this is what you write down your reason why. Why you want, I mean, of course I'll get into that in a second, but time freedom was number one. What does time freedom look like to me? steady income, passive income, paying customers, a source of income, time free job, or for a way to make money, pushing digital products. Digital products. Being able to do this and having digital products. My bad. I'm trying to. These are handmade, turning these into digital art. Like that's pushing digital products. That's what time freedom looks like to me. Being able to spend time painting and creating art, And this just I do all type of shit. But that's he working on 2,000 paintings. The last time I seen his interview on, he got a lot of images and shit. It's like, man, I need the time and space to do that shit. That's time freedom to me. Um, Being able to spend time with my son, creating memories. We stay in different areas, but that's important to me as far as time span. Not just being over the Wi-Fi calls and shit like that. Actually face to face. When we spend time, we have a lot of fun. We be excited, and that's fulfilling to me in my heart. Another reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, so that I can leave all this to him. You don't have to worry about finding jobs and shit. You can just pick up where I'm leaving off. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have a situation to maintain. You'll always have a source of income and stuff like that. He's not really interested into this type of stuff. He have his own life. He's his own person. And I'm not going to try to convince him or try to force him to do shit. Like you do what you like, and I embrace and I support it, whether it's what I'm doing or not. But he be checking out my shit. Like now, all of a sudden, I see like he be doing his shit. I'm proud. I'm influencing him in the right way. He be doing his little videos on TikTok. I don't got a TikTok no more. They hated it. They took all my videos and took my account down. So I'm not gonna make another TikTok. I just started this shit. My account got took down and demonetized. So I know what I'm doing. Like I know how to make money online. I'm at first they started me off with a content creator, and I ain't tell y'all about that, which was a part of my first year starting back in 2022. Like the end of the year, they saw what I was doing on Instagram. I'm basically just on there posting, showing how I kick it. And they was like, "Damn, we like what you're doing." I'm getting like 5,000 views and shit like that. The numbers was crazy, but I didn't care about that shit when I post my shit. Like whatever, y'all like it, you don't. Nevertheless, from doing that, Facebook, because I got them both to each other, right? Like I like to multi-post on every platform that I'm on from one device or one source type, right? Like I don't like logging into different apps to post whatever, right? I do my shit different. But nevertheless, right? Facebook, they see what I'm doing on Instagram and they hit me up. They tell me exactly this. We see what you're doing on Instagram. How would you like? We'll pay you for reals. We basically went on contract, and I was like, it's cool. So that's what I began doing. And they be paying me, but they still owe me money too. They owe me 5 bands, and they be paying a little bit out at a time. So I'm like, whatever, right? Well, just give me my money. So I had kind of slowed down a little bit because they require a lot, but nevertheless, they did put me in position. Like I went from probably like 2,000 followers to 7,000 at the moment. My friend list fucking blew up. 5,000 friends. So if y'all definitely always go through the list and I delete people who don't really fuck with me like that, they ass out the way so that I can have new supporters and new friends. And that was all within like a few months span. I haven't been pushing it like that because the energy on Facebook. It is what it is. Like people like Lucky Look, and it became like the fucking funeral page. Every time I go on there, somebody passed away, some shit like, or somebody on there fighting. I'm like, I ain't that type of vibe. I don't like seeing that shit. I do like to be aware of what's going on, but certain shit I just don't care to know. Like disrespect anybody. I'm not saying anything like it's not important. I'm just saying that it's not valuable for me to be knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't doing nothing to me. It ain't helping me better myself in any kind of way. So I don't spend time engaging with that type of shit. And the type of stuff that I do post, like it's a drip in the water. A lot of people ain't gonna really be able to catch it because the frequency that I'm on is totally different. It's a drop in the bucket. Like I said, bucket will become enough to overflow it. And once it starts to overflow, it eventually cleans itself out. You let a cup sit in a sink and it keeps dripping, and eventually that cup will be filled up with water. And eventually that water will overspill. So, that's how I'm doing it. I'm constantly putting positive drips into the sea of online bullshit, basically. And I'm doing it enough to where it overflows with my energy and my likeness. They're helping with that conscious flow so that eventually it'll be our turn, where we just look for it. Um, that was what this is about. I have way more. I like to go into details about what I'm talking about so you can bold. I have to switch it up a little bit. But nevertheless, like freedom, I want to spend time with my son. I want to spend time creating memories and letting them know like this is the legacy. Like the way that I know I'm successful when he have kids and I see how they come out, in a certain way, I know that it's successful generation, to see what you put behind. Also, you can just go back to see like your grandfather, right? Well, the way that he trickled down into your parents and the way that you will trickle down into that second generation. But nevertheless, right, we have to, whether you're present in your child's life or not, because at one point they will become adults who are looking up to you for inspiration, for motivation, for guidance. And I wanted to talk about this not to offend nobody, but I want to do a video about it. It's going to be about straight, gay, and beyond because people be uncomfortable. They don't want you to say the word, the F word, the faggot, and gay or straight or whatever, right? I'm not trying to down anybody, not at all, because whether you, it comes a point where people like to push their, and you're, dealing with younger people, whether you're a man or a girl, you're dealing with young boys and young girls. That's sick in the mind, and that's pushing as far as sexuality, and it goes to everybody's on that shit, whether you're, and that's where the problem lies. And where I got a problem with it as far as pushing it on people, of course, in context, right? And sometimes it's important to show a little affection. But my thing is, when you get to showing all that provocative stuff, like I don't want to see that shit, and they try to condition us to make it seem normal. Like at first, it started off with girls, sexy shit, and that's the problem. For everybody, it's not sexy, and for everybody, especially the younger mind, figured out who they are yet, who are even thinking about sexuality, to be constantly bombarded with this type of shit. That's where the problem lies. Of course, goes to deeper the details of the storyline to get the point across. But nowadays, it just, when you are here doing that type of stuff, whether you making content about it, some of y'all don't know how to create content. And some who do, be mindful, We could go deeper into that because everybody's seeing. I'm not trying to say you're a sinner because you're gay or you're a faggot. My apologies. Because you're in that community, I'm not saying for how much you put into the younger minds. That's why I leave it. Like, I don't care if you're gay, I don't care if you're straight. Like, that don't have nothing to do with me. But what does have something to do with me as far as trying to go online or watch TV, and I'm seeing all of this stuff that It makes me uncomfortable. Even too much sex with straight people on TV. Like I don't want to see no fucking porn on TV, right? If I do, then I'll go watch that type of shit. But when you're trying to watch a family movie or you just trying to watch something like some of that stuff too much, and then it gets people in their little freaky minds and they get out here doing this stuff. I had to say that because it's on my mind. It was on my mind last night when I was thinking about making a video about it, and it's a distraction, right? The DD stuff, all this and that. Like people gonna do what they do, but it becomes a problem when you're out here pushing yourself on people like that. And it's just about mindset, right? Like even with this, like people want success so bad that they force it on people by like you see these content creators. This is one girl who out here, she run around and shit, and it's the sexuality too, right? It goes with all areas of life. When people get so caught up in a little bit of attention, because that's what they're all seeking, a little bit of attention, you know, a little bit of affection, maybe, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, they want some attention. They get caught up in the likes, the views, whatever, and then they get out here doing shit like that. Even with Krishan, like I don't think she gay, but now she talk about she is, and it just gets messy, man. Like you know, in the youth, my problem is like, and that's why I brought it up too. And some people change for the worse, some people change for the better. But I'm just warning you guys to be conscious of the changes that's happening in life, what everybody's doing, and they lead you into a area where you're not going to profit anything, but these lower vibrations that's dressed up as flashing lights. Somebody miserable comes in different forms of fashion. I could be coming as a millionaire. Like, hey everybody, let's go spend some money, but I'm miserable inside. And once I get all you guys in my misery zone, now it begins. You see the real destruction. I like Diddy, you know what I'm saying? Got what he got going on. I'm like, this is some devilish stuff. And it's like, man, you could have misled me. Could have misled me. The blind leading the blind. And when you're blind, you don't know where you're being led until you're in a situation where you know it's not for you. I just pray that you guys have discernment and not to be following up behind any and everybody and be led into a place where there's no return. Time free to educate myself, learning new languages and new world history, being able to create my art and business upscale moves for 10 energy, nurturing my garden, fusing different fruits and vegetables, stuff like that, you know, is what time free is to me. Going to the library, museum, walks along the beach, catching the sunset, on a boat, exploring new investments and learning new software products and programs for future and advancement. I couldn't really read that one. That's a little sloppy. Um, Able to buy clothes, shoes, jewelry, and exclusive collectibles. So I like jewelry. I got a little some on. These are gifts from my sister. But these two, she got me a ring too. We got two of that flew off my hand. I would have been married 3 times. I proposed to one chick to me. One of them gave me the ring and it fucking flew. I was like, I asked her about it. I was like, did you find the ring? She's like, yeah, I told them. I represent Christ. I had a chain, so I gave it one of my little cousins. It was the same like this, with black, black beads and shit like that. I got 14 karat gold, diamond cut, yellow gold, white. Shit dope as fuck. Tricolor diamond cut. And then I got another 10 karat chain. I had a lot of bracelets too. I had another rope chain, 14 karat gold. Got sold. Like when I was locked up, I told y'all like when my stimulus and my chick, she sold my jewelry, my laptop, give away my shoes, a lot of my shit. Right, starting over, been starting over, still starting over. This is my new laptop I'm on now. It ain't. I know I'm going topic a lot, but the third year, right, with the IRS and the child support and all that stuff, I'm gonna just do a video on my journey for my 3 years on September 22nd. But a part one is gonna stay 25th when I reveal that letter. We'll get into why and why not I am where I am and where I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Because I don't know. A year ago from this date, I don't know what mindset I had. I'm evolving. What I thought a year ago or 2 years ago, that person. That's why it was hard for me to find out who my perfect customer is because it was like it's really the younger you. Where the younger me is a bunch of different niggas who transfer. Like even today, the guy I am today ain't the guy that's going to serve who I need to be in the future. And the guy that I am today isn't going to be the person that I needed to be the one in the past. Maneuver the way I did, being the person I am today with my everything changes for the good or for the worse. And for me, I'm just trying to be better year after year, whether it be mindset change, because you can be rich at any time. It's just about your ability anytime they want to. You just don't. Sacrifice certain things to have certain things. It ain't that I'm lucky or anything like that. I spend my time learning. I spend my money investing. It is what it is. Not every investment is going to return me a profit. I'm showing y'all what I got going on with the my cryptos and shit like that. I'm currently down, but I'm not jumping the ship. I'm losing contracts and losing support and a bunch of shit. I had a bunch of motherfuckers from India, Philippines, basically the whole Asia continent fucking came through showing us love and support. But it was a few shit like, and I put their names out there. This girl, somehow I fuck around, ended up with all her family, like her cousins, mama, sisters, whoever, right? I didn't even think that, that I'd be introduced to these people. And what's crazy, right? Like how the whole Asia came from the Philippines, Bangladesh, India, China, Taiwan, places, right? I've never been to Asia myself, but I'm learning from countries from these people. That's how I learned Bengali a little bit, French, Dada brother, and stuff like that, right? I know a little bit. Miss Roy, right? I just call her Roy because I don't want to disrespect her family and the people that I'm really cool with, but her specifically. I can speak a little bit of her language. She can speak a little bit of mine, but we crossed until one day I found that she started doing too much, and I didn't really understand what. I found out like go live, right? Shit, like thousands of people be coming through. I'm like, damn, And every day I can't go live with her. And every day I didn't go live with her, but nevertheless, she tagging me. That she took like 2,000 people from what you think? Because if you was down with me, you would still be down with me, right? But it was just like, damn, her, another chick, they was doing that, and they ain't know. I'm like, why they keep on? And they thought I was dumb too, right? Because I don't speak it, they don't think I don't understand it. So this bitch on there, she can't forget. That's how I talk. I don't mean no harm. And if I do, you will know it. But anyway, this bitch right in her language, it's acting funny. This motherfucker want to talk, right? Basically telling them like, yeah, go add him up. He do this, he got that, woo, 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 which sounds good, but the way I was running my shit wasn't. the way that I needed her to have all them people come through like that. And then when she found out that I found out, she kind of like bagged and blocked her ass and cut her off. Same with the other girl. But when I blocked the other girl off, she still was tagging me and shit. I didn't even know, like, cause I got a fan page and I got a business page. My business page is uh Forex. I teach Forex on there. I've been doing this shit for and the same is with my subscription page, which is $1. My doing giveaways. No, last year was my first giveaway. This year was my second. Next year will be my third annual giveaways. I do it on July 3rd. And when I started with the digital marketing, let's get into this for a second. Something else to as an addition to change because I had just lost my accessory contract and I had just got off the run. You know, that case was put to rest, and now I'm like a fresh start, like I was saying. And I had all this money. Plus, I just left from Ohio with a bag, looking for a way to upscale, which I'm still doing. I'm always going to be doing. And here comes digital marketing, a lot of different stuff. And I was like, wow, I just seen the video, right? You know, I don't have to be splitting profits with paparazzi anymore. That was the number one plus right there in mentorship. Like I said, like I've had products and programs before, but not nobody to be really coaching live mentorship. And it's decent, you know, like and it's something new that I'm a part of, something new that I'm embarking on. This journey has been very interesting. And I tap in from time to time because I'm working on I didn't hop into this program with like looking for, you know, at this as an extension. I'm not conforming to like the program works, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm running my own, promoting my own self because I own my own shit. It'd be dumb for me to be out here and not promoting my shit, you know. But that's the reason why, because that's a beautiful way to upskill really quick. You know, somebody who's already been in the game, who got skin in the game, and that's how you get skin in the game. You purchase the product, right? So you can upscale from their momentum, using their name, likeness, and image in products of it, letting them know that this is something you can use. You go tell anybody about a Wi-Fi service. It's not your service, but you're in front of it, allowing somebody to go use it, utilize a service that's already nationally known or locally known. The same way as with different foods, different electronics, you know. But what I do is with online products and services like debit cards and stuff like that. This is what I. This is digital money. Let me show y'all real quick. Let's get into some shit. And that thing that I do right is like it's figure out like it ain't no fucking rocket science type of stuff. Um, just give me one bit while I load this up. And then I'm gonna play this young Pharaoh about the DNA and why it make a lot of sense. My computer go real slow because they doing construction out here, fucking Decatur, Illinois. They out here doing some shit. They always out here doing some shit, but it's real like dusty outside and it's like it smells. It's like big ass fucking herm. Go outside, I'm like, damn, it's dusty out here. It's stank. Like, what the fuck going on? So I hurry up. Like, it's too damn hot to not have no air, but the air is fucking stinking and dusty. So I'm like, I hope this shit don't get nobody sick. They always doing some weird shit. All right, yeah, but check this out though. We finna play it. My shit be going so slow sometimes, but uh, let me see if I can do something with this real quick. I don't know. Here we go. I'm only gonna play a little section of this because getting into it with this girl who hurt you, and I don't know what her name is or whatever, but like, um, yeah, I'm sharing her stuff, but more so only a little section about it from young Pharaoh who I fuck, and he on her channel. He not on YouTube like that no more. He be on what's it called, on Twitch, but I don't know his Twitch info because I don't be on there like that. And when I do be on there, I'm with my shit. Not to say I don't support it, but I don't know how to use it yet. So I'm just basically building on my, because this is about the DNA and why people, this gonna make a lot of sense on what I've been saying and how you could, if you're in that situation, in that position, how you could easily turn it around.
It's your okay, so if your fight or flight is, I have all of these cells in me that have been hateful all this time, then I need to conduct myself this way to keep feeding this, to keep going.
Exactly.
And
yeah, because also, adding on to what you just said, one of the main chemicals that I left out is dopamine.
Right.
This is why they call drugs dope, because you're really not addicted to the drug. You addicted to the release of dopamine.
Yeah.
The rewards is things that we have culturalized. Yeah. And then we rewarding each other for these behaviors. Now you got people that certainly multiplying into negative beings, and then these entities, aka people running around out here, are now more influenced to engage in the behavior because it's rewarding. So it's easy to say, okay, I'm gonna do a female dirty because everybody gonna pump my head up and say that I'm a player. So now I'm just gonna, reconstruct myself cellularly and anatomically as a scumbag, and then that dopamine gonna be released when I'm on World Star with 1 million views for talking. It's like we programming ourselves neurologically to be on it. Yeah. And nobody want to say nothing.
Yeah, I want to say nothing about
nobody
that.
Nobody want to say nothing.
And
but
it's not a reward. It's depending on what lens you're looking through. So this is the lens that everybody's looking through. Once you take off those lenses, you start seeing that. I always say we more than a human being. We're trying to tell people looking at that way that everything I do has an eternal value to it. Right?
Wow.
It becomes, we human being, we own that language big. But it really, for what you're talking about, and this is that slogan too that you hear all the time, like the faith. The faith is the whimsical. The faith is the I can surrender it and not have to do it. That's that drug.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about, going back to it, is that what I'm hearing is you desire to do the works. That's something that becomes a desire. That has to become something that is, and this is what you were talking about with the fact of the faith. We put this so on a high level. Yeah. What's faith? What do you believe in? Yeah. And then we hold that belief in, but the belief's work that it takes to do that, and those two have to go together. It does not go. I don't know what happened to that? That this is so. You know what I mean?
Accountability.
Yeah,
it's easy to just have faith because you ain't gotta have no accountability.
No work.
I wish I could live my life like that, Lord. I'm gonna just have faith that the Lord.
We gonna move it right
Lord,
now.
Yeah, like are you serious? Yeah. And then people that got faith really kill me because when you hungry, you don't got faith that Jesus gonna go make that sandwich. You get when faith works.
Faith works.
I think there's a lot that everybody's saying right now that we really need to unpack.
All right, hold on real quick, because this ain't the part. All right, here you go, right here, I believe so. But that's pretty dope, though. The type of shit that I be into. This young Pharaoh, the one with the locks. His name Aaron White, I believe, the one to the left. Nikki G, what her name is with the white, but this is her situation, her channel. It's called Why Are You? Wait, hold on. It's called Why Are You Hurt?
generational curses with some of the breaking.
Now, this is where he get into it, right? Check this out.
We talk a lot about the generation, but then there's the breaking of it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And I love to hear that. And I want to know you from, because where you brought up really got going. But even the breaking of, if we just say, let's just do it as a breaking, like a generational trauma or generational curse, if a lot of it is the DNA, and you know what I'm saying?
We have to reformat. Okay, your body cellularly literally produces receptors to intake whatever chemicals that your brain produces. Now we call these chemicals neurotransmitters. So for those of you at home, let me give you the difference between a hormone and a neurotransmitter. The quickest, easiest, pass your test, understanding I give you it. A hormone is a chemical that is produced. A neurotransmitter is a chemical that's produced by your brain and is dispensed into your nervous system. Now we talking about neurochemistry, okay? Now the way that we break these curses is we understand how these curses occur. Everybody always talk about the spiritual, which is fine, but everything that's metaphysical, meaning beyond, metaphysics is what you study beyond length, width, height, value, which means it still exists. You just can't tangibly observe it. So all of that creates what we can tangibly observe. So when we talk about generational curses, the first thing you just thought of was some boot. But let's talk about how that comes into the physical, which brings us to the smallest level of our existence, almost a couple notches above anatomically, which is cellular. So boom, if you are a negative person, I don't care why you're negative. I don't care if you've been watching too much TV, whatever the reason. If you're negative, if you're hateful, if you're jealous, your brain is producing these chemicals. These chemicals, aka neurotransmitters, are being dispensed into your body. And then what your cells is doing is this. Let's say if I got a cell and my cell has 5 receptors. 5 for happiness, 5 for joy, 5 for misery, and 5 for hate. If you miserable and you hate, when this cell divides, it's gonna have 15 for hate, 15 for jealousy, 2 for love, 2 for happiness, 2 for joy. And so now what you're literally doing, you're cellularly, literally, you are craving negativity.
Yeah.
This is why some people love drama. Some people love. You can't understand why you just like to argue with me. And your body is saying, feed me arguments.
Yeah.
Feed me
You
arguments.
attract that in the partner.
And if you can't attract it, you go get it.
Yeah.
If it ain't coming to me, I'm going to it. Because you cellularly are a hateful person now. And you have more receptors in you, through your goddamn veins, that's looking for hate chemical responses, or jealous chemical responses, or you insecure. So you feed off of, like when people say, watch your thoughts, and your thoughts create your reality. It's creating who you are cellularly as well. We have to create blueprints that bring happy thoughts. And most people don't want happy thoughts because happy thoughts expunge the egotistical thoughts you want to have. So it's fun to say, this makes me happy when it's at somebody else's expense. Right. But it's not fun to say, hey, let's just share with everybody, no matter what you look like. Oh, hell no, because just it don't want that. So it's just to the point where we gotta just, knowing this to be a fact. I'm not speaking on my butt. Knowing this to be a fact, we have to destroy anything is going to cause us to continue to become negative people. Put positive stuff on TV. Say nice stuff to people. Stop promoting dumb stuff. I know this sounds corny and people keep saying it, but hopefully with the science behind knowing how this is affecting you, it influences you to change. To answer your question, we're talking about generational curse. Generation, genes. That's right in there. Genes. Stop. If I've been living my life for 25 years as a hateful person, and then I go sexually procreate. And then you know how many cells in the base, his body has in the goddamn sky, stars in the sky. Yeah. So if I'm a hateful cellular being and I turn her into a hateful cellular being, what did we just create? So we just cellularly created a general of that when we talking about stopping the generational curse. And if you like, but I'm giving you the scientific.
Yeah, it's an addition.
Yeah, I'm giving you what you need to know, and you can't argue.
I want to speak on that too because
So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with y'all. Sorry I had to, run it back a little bit. But then again, yeah, like I'm not the scientist, so I'm not intellectual as he is, but I do understand where he's coming from and the information that's being presented, to where it's not understandable or helpful to anybody. But yeah, that's why I preach this positivity stuff a lot. That's why I'm big on mental awareness because it's in your genes. And the way to change these things is to actually change these things. And be mindful of what you think about. Be mindful of the thoughts that you engage with and entertain because it's creating your DNA and who you are as an individual. And it's powerful, right? We have the power to change. We have the power to create. We have the biggest thing with digital marketing, right? Is the mindset. Knowing that if you want a positive experience from this, no matter if you feel successful or not, because the outside looking in, they always gonna look at it as you are successful, you're not, or whatever the case may be. You won't know, but you know how you feel, and you know what your circumstances may seem to look like. But when you appreciate the people that appreciate you, and you stick on that length, that vibe, that wave, you'll find more people. You'll have confidence, more trust in yourself. You'll be able to do what you do more authentically without having to look for outside sources to keep you going. Yeah. It is what it is. But nevertheless, I'm leave y'all with that information. Happy Tuesday. Peace and blessings. And be prepared. Come join me. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Come check out August 25th will be my 1 year revelation on, what I wrote down. And you guys want to invite with me and also we'll start a new activity on that day so you guys can have something to do and look forward to, and we'll reveal that together as a whole on my 1 year anniversary, September 22nd. Happy Thursday.